Welcome to P2F Fighting, another video. This is going to be my self-defense reaction to the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight. What a show, man. What a, I'm not sure what to call that. But there's a couple things that we can use in relation to self-defense from that fight. Because you really had two guys that didn't really know how to box, and they were boxing. It's very clear that Jake Paul trained in boxing longer than Ben Askren, and a lot of people are getting it wrong. I see on other channels, I've watched some reactions. Oh, he knocked out a UFC fighter. Oh, he's great. He's great. Understand something. Ben Askren was a wrestler. He is an Olympic level, world champion, world level wrestler. He was a wrestler who strikes. But if you watch his fights in one championship in, I believe he was in Bellator. He was in several different organizations and UFC. His goal, take you down and smother you, and that's how I'm going to win the title. And then punch punch along the way. But option one is wrestling. Option two is punching. When you take two people from different styles and you change the rules up on them, so Ben Askren is a wrestler, a pure wrestler who punches. He's not a mixed martial artist. He's a wrestler who punches. And so you take away wrestling, which is the main thing he does, and tell him he can only punch. Well, he's a fish out of water. Now, how does any of this apply to self-defense? So someone asked me a question about how to beat a boxer. I'm going to do that video next. Well, right now I can flip that and talk about how to beat a wrestler, and you just saw it. If you can hit that wrestler, if you can strike him, if you can catch him coming in, if you can catch a wrestler with your hands before he can shoot on you and get the takedown, well, then there's your answer. There's your answer. So it's all about keeping them back, not letting them shoot, not letting them change levels, catching them with a punch coming in. So if you're someone who you end up going against a wrestler, the worst thing in the world you want to do is let him get close, because when they get close, they're going to grab you, take you down, and it's a wrap. You're not getting up, because wrestlers know how to control you. The entire sport of wrestling is control. It's two objects hitting each other. When one gets the other one down, you control him, because wrestling's not like jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, you're going for the submission. Jiu-jitsu is movement, position, submission. That's how jiu-jitsu is, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Movement, position, submission. Wrestling doesn't have the submission right, the submission part. It's just movement, position, control. Just control until time runs out. I get the most points or pin you. But it's all control. So once they get you down, it's a wrap. You're not getting up. With a pure wrestler, you're never getting up. So how do you beat a wrestler? You strike. You keep them up. Use your knees, because they're going to want to shoot. So you want to control his head. You want to throw punches. You want to throw punches, kicks, and knees. Not really kicks. Kicks if you can. Kick the front leg. You know, if he dips his head too low, kick the face. But I wouldn't throw too many kicks at a wrestler, because if they catch it, you're going down. So the main thing is do what Jake Paul did there. Throw some punches. Use that jab. Keep him back. Throw the power hand. If they come in, try to catch him coming in with the punch. If you can't, throw the knee, catch his head under here, and it comes up. That's how that works. I wrestled from 5 years old till about 18, so I know a lot about wrestling. And the one thing that, unless you're in wrestling for a long time, a lot of guys, when they get in a street fight, they shoot sloppy. They don't shoot the perfect takedown where your head's on the side, not in front with your head up, not like this with your head down. A lot of guys shoot like this and try to grab the legs, and that's incorrect. And even in street fights, when they want to grab you, they do this. They go like this, and they shoot with their head down. You can grab that head and throw a knee, and it's a wrap. That's why you're gonna watch my video about Muay Thai because that's like the ultimate counter to wrestling. If you, as far as striking goes, would be Muay Thai. I think Muay Thai is great, but also wrestling is great. I've always said that the best combo is wrestling and boxing. As far as if you want to learn something to make you as complete as possible, you want to do what are the most basic things you can do. I'm talking about right now stuff. Boxing is a right now style. It's a ring art that's a right now art. Meaning, when you get in a fight, what's the first thing you do? Well, you might shove, talk some smack, but when the punches are being thrown, what I just say? Punches. So why not box it? Learn how to punch correctly. That's the most basic part of fighting is punching. Learning how to punch correctly, learning how to see punches coming at you, learning how to take a punch. All of this is important. When you're fighting a grappler, you want to be able to strike well, because striking is how you're going to get out of it. Yeah, so as far as that fight goes, was terrible. My opinion is, you look at Ben Askren in there. He looked like a fish out of water. He probably threw 10 punches the whole fight, which was just what, a round. I think it was a round. They both look like amateurs, and they're both amateurs. I'm not really sure why they call it pro. It's just pro because they were making money off of it. But really, you had two amateurs in there fighting. One guy that's had what, 2 fights, but a whole lot of rounds of training. And the other guy who was wrestling based his entire life, who just punched as a secondary thing for winning fights. Look at Ben Askren's past fights. Just go YouTube it. Look at all of his past fights, and you will see that he barely throws any punches. He always just throws enough to shoot for the takedown and then smother, done. That's what he does. So when they're in there, somebody said that Ben Askren looked like he was shaped like a bag of milk. Which is funny. Oh God, that was funny when someone said that. One of the commentators said he was shaped like a bag of milk. And he was. But really, my reaction is that it was crap. I actually felt like he could have continued. He got up, he met the count. He walked to the ref. He walks like a duck, so he stumbled forward. But he could have kept going. I feel like they called it too early. It's my reaction. When I first saw it, I was like, ooh, they called that early. The ref pushed back Jake Paul. Ben was getting up, met the count. He said, come here. He walked to him, said he was fine, and he stumbled a little, but that's because that's how he walks. You ever watch him walk? I don't know. They called it early. For someone who's got that much fight history, they called it way early. But it is what it is. Anyway, the self-defense part is, you want to be the wrestler, strike. Learn how to strike. Learn how to box. I always think everyone should learn how to box. It's the ultimate humbling experience, and you learn so much. I think boxing is such a great art, and it gets you in great shape too. And if you're here in the local San Diego area, so many boxing gyms. Quality too, all over the place. So no excuse not to get into a boxing gym, or just learn some basic punches online. If you can't afford to go, just pull up. I'm gonna do some videos on that as well. But anyway, it's my reaction. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy.